Welcome to Dance Fit Biz Builders. I'm Orit, dancer, instructor, and proud owner of a thriving belly dance fitness business. And in this podcast, I'm giving it to you straight, sharing what it takes to kickstart and grow your dance and fitness business for the success you deserve. Whether you're a seasoned instructor, a passionate performer, or dreaming of turning your love for dance and fitness into a thriving career, you're in the right place. Lace up those sneakers and pull on those dance shoes and get ready for truth smacks, tips, and inspiration. Let's do this. Hello and welcome to Dance Fit Biz Builders. I'm Orit, your host. And guess what, guys? This is already episode 44. Can you believe that? Wow. I have a fabulous guest here today who I feel like I befriended just recently. And she's amazing. And I'm honored to be in her presence. Her name is Andrea Sarbacher. That's a hard one. Sorry. No, Orit's a hard one too. What am I talking about? What? And she is here today to talk to us about Sweat Now, this amazing app that she created, and I have recently been on, and I'm seeing the uptick. But before we get started, Andrea, I want you to first talk about yourself. How the heck did you first start in fitness? Tell me your story.
Oh my God. So, my story starts long time ago, and I'm going to do my best to keep it as brief as possible. But I fell in love with fitness as a kid, just growing up in Eastern Europe and needing an outlet for non-communist child growing up in kind of a tough environment. And I learned very, very early on that movement is medicine. Movement is everything. So I would get lost in movement. And then it kind of continued to be my go-to tool through my college years. It was my one happy place where I was able to connect with people. And at first it was incredibly important to me because it allowed for people to come together, regardless of your age, your background, your culture. I could just teach and feel like I'm part of something, part of a community. So it fed a tremendous need for family and a community. And I just could never give it up, So it started when I was 16 and I'm still doing it 30 years later. And through all these troubles and tribulations and changes, it was one of the hardest things for me as an immigrant, as a single mom, is to lose connection with my community. They became everything. They became my support group, my family, my psychiatrist, my doctors, they were what kept me going, no matter how hard things were. And that is how I love and adore and cherish fitness. Any version, anything is always a plus.
Yeah, absolutely. What I love about that, just a little side note, it's great that you started with fitness because you just needed to get away. You needed an outlet. It wasn't so much of this, what you see in the industry now and hear in the industry about look a certain way, but I have to do this. No, there's many reasons why people move, and it's so therapeutic. Yes, you are right.
It is. And I always struggle communicating this to, I would say my fit, you'll understand this more as a fellow Fit Pro, but I personally feel this huge responsibility as a fitness professional, right? It's just this huge burden or pressure that I put on myself to never be the reason why people turn away from fitness. So, every time I teach, I'm just like, oh my God, if you don't like me, just please still find someone you do. Don't let me be the reason why you just go, dance is not for me. Fitness not for me. Please, I don't want to live with that guilt. So I'm so incredibly motivated to have the opportunity to talk to you before and after and get you to come back. Please come back because I have lived it on a receiving end. If you just find a reason to come back and move and move and move, eventually things will get easier and eventually you will love it and it will become the source of your joy, your happiness, If that's all you got ton.
Love it. Thank you for that, Andrea. Powerful. So you're in fitness, you're here in America, and what's so incredible about you is that you thought out of the box. A lot of people say that about me when it comes to dance. I thought out of the box because I fuse both dance and fitness. But Andrea, you went into the tech world. What? Like that takes smarts.
Okay. It takes desperation, honestly.
Okay.
And you'll relate to this. I think we share so many things, honestly, and I have to say, I'm as honored and privileged to work with you. Just your ethics, your commitment, your care for your community. It's just palpable. It really is palpable. So thank you. So honestly, I do have to set the record straight. It was absolute desperation. My choices were I give up fitness or I have to come up with something that will work. So this is how much I love what I do because I hate tech. My husband will tell you. It's just like, what? It stresses me out. I don't enjoy it. But I could not sustain myself as a single mother with, again, ton of responsibility and the stress of my son needing me and me having to choose my community or my brand or my reputation. Because you can, again, relate as a fitness professional. If you are a no-show, anybody, any appointment you have ever made, and there is a no-show and a silence behind the no-show, you tell me what you feel. You feel discarded, disregarded, uncared for, disrespected, as a recipient of that. And somehow in fitness, we have all of this tremendous responsibility and no way to communicate when we are human beings, when we're mothers, when we're hurt, when we're sick. And I had this stress across 12 different gyms because I needed to provide for my son. This became kind of the go-to. As much as I have, 2 college degrees, I kind of ended up, how I'm sure a lot of moms end up, people end up, you're in a place where you're like, now what? And I needed to provide and teaching not only kept me alive for my own personal reasons, but it gave me the flexibility to be there for my son. However, to scale myself as a fitness professional, I had to go to different places across different formats. And as such, I ended up teaching at 12 different gyms across, I'm going to say, 8 different formats. So here I am, unable to communicate with my community every single day, being faced with, well, if my son gets a fever today, well, what am I doing? I'm teaching 5 classes and I'm going to be a no-show to 5. And what if it's a new person? That's it. That was my first and one chance with this person, and I will lose them forever. And everything I'm building could literally cascade down to nothing. And if it's down to nothing, I can't make money because my class is going to get cut. Right? So, and we live with this. And this is, I think that a lot of fitness professionals will be able to relate. We build, we pump, we pump. We provide, we care, we love, we nurture. And then one of these bad moments, it's not even of our doing. It's just that the industry is not supporting us sufficiently. They're not empowering us to be the brand that we want to be the representation of ourselves we want to be. And as such, we're faced with this impossibility of we always have to be there and then have to make awful sacrifices. When it could be as simple as if my community knew my son had a fever, there would not have been a single one of those people who wouldn't have forgiven me or, tried to support me. And then my other huge wake-up call was back then, Facebook was the thing. Okay, so my son is 8 years old, and I really poured everything into Facebook. It was a goal, and I'm like, all I'm going to do is get everyone on Facebook because it was the thing. Back, I want to say in 2016, they capped out your community at 5,000, right? So that was it. There was no follow. It was just, you had friends. And I was like, I literally remember the moment. I was like, that's it. That's the peak of that's it. I got everybody on Facebook. I'm done. And first time I needed a sub. Friday night, people traveling from the city. And I just couldn't do it. I told the gym a month ahead of time, a month. I'm not going to be there. This wasn't even an emergency. This was a planned class. And, no one got to updating the schedule on the gym's website, which is the only place people can find us, right? And next Friday rolls in and I show up and I had, out of 45 people, 18 people in class. I worked the entire year for this. And I was mortified. And I'm like, what happened? And they're like, well, you weren't here. I'm like, what are you talking about? No one was here. We all showed up and there was nobody. There are people to this day that I still can remember, and it's 10 years later, that have never come back to me. And I will never have a way. And I was like, I'll post it on Facebook. I was like, what do you mean? And they're like, we never saw any of that. And that was it. That was my breaking point. That was like, oh my God, what more could I have done? I planned it. I let my manager know. I tried to tell on Facebook, right? And none of that worked. I'm like, at any point, this could be all my classes. So what do? Do I go and be an accountant? And it broke my heart. The idea of doing it all by myself and not loving what I do and having no opportunity to recharge. How?
Right.
And that was it. So I was just desperate. And universe kind of puts you in places where you're supposed to be, like right now with you. Had a venture capitalist friend who was looking into, new tech ideas. And I was really at the kind of end of my rope. I was very upset. It was clear to my friends that I've been crying a lot. So long story short, he could not believe that this doesn't exist. And the idea was I wanted him to build it for me to use. This was never going to be like, oh, I'm going to do it. And he basically said, I don't know anything about your industry. So you build it and, I'll fund it, because he's done some research. And I remember specifically him being blown away that the driving force of our fitness industry is not being supported or empowered to be in direct communication of what drives the sales of this industry. So think about it, right? So right now is like a triangle, right? And I always try to draw it out. And I go, what drives the sale is the fitness enthusiast and us, the fit bros, right? That's the connection. But it only, we both communicate through the gym. So the gym represents us, and it's, they don't have the relationship. They can't carry the relationship. They can be very efficient about maybe communicating, I'm not going to be there, right? But do they know who is the best sub? Do they know how to carry that conversation about still come in and encourage that and that accountability, that relationship? It's just not there. And it never will be. It's like, do our friends have the same pull as we do as parents? It's just the relationship carries a different level of the ability to make people do something. It's the most impossible. You can't make people do anything unless they want to. We make people want to do. And what I wanted to say, and I'm back at it, is when you have a negative experience, it takes 4 positive experiences just to bring it down to neutral. So think about it. You would have to have someone have 4 incredible classes with you in order for them to possibly come back after they have that negative experience where you were a no-show. So you need to be 4 classes deep to have a chance to retain that client, or they won't. If that's my first or second experience with someone, I'm out.
That's an interesting stat. Wow. So you created Sweat Now. There were some challenges with it. It took you a little bit, but I'm finding, like, with your story, not only are you trying to convince fitness professionals, but you're also trying to convince the facilities to maybe integrate it into their systems.
Correct. So that has been goal. The goal is to unite our industry. Right? Everybody wins when the right people can carry the relationship and the right people can carry the sale. If I work for a facility, honestly, do I want to be selling memberships and help me help you get you new members, convert them and retain them. And I'm happy because honestly, at the end of the day, most of us, we just want packed classes. It's so simple.
Yeah.
But how do we pack classes when we can't promote ourselves? And even if we do, and we have captured someone's attention, if we don't have an easy mechanism to bring them into our class, right? Even if we bring them to a facility or a website or Facebook, how do you get them to see your entire schedule to go, well, maybe Thursday doesn't work for you, but hey, I'm also here on Tuesday or on Wednesday. And by the way, if you follow me, I'll have a ton of pop-ups and subs, endless amount of constant ongoing opportunities for someone to get notified and ding. How about this class? How about this class? How about this class?
Right.
Right? It's a tease. We're able to constantly date our clients until they finally go, all right, you know what? This one works for me. Let me try. And then if they have an amazing experience and they want to do it more than once, then they're going to become members.
This all sounds great, but now if you can explain a little bit for our audience how the Sweat Now app works, because you're talking about notifications. Let's go deeper into that, how it works and how it can benefit the fitness professional and dance.
So I think what's the most important for me to communicate, right, that for fitness professionals, Sweat Now is all in one platform. Okay, I love to use this example that I think it's incredibly relatable to every fitness professional, right? What if you never had to answer this question? Where else do you teach?
Right.
What if instead of that, you could find something about your clients? Have an amazing conversation. How was your day? How did you like the class? How are you? Why do you come? What do we have? 10 seconds of an interaction, and we burn it on, oh my God, tomorrow I'm here. By the time our clients leave, they forgot everything we told them, even no matter how motivated they are. So if instead your answer was, all my classes are on Sweat Now, let's talk about you, right?
Yeah.
So it's an all-in-one platform, and it allows fitness professionals to post and manage their full class schedule. This is important, instantly notifying clients about changes. So it's instant, right? So when things happen, whatever is important for us to tell our community, we have one click of a button, one little edit, one little note, and our entire community gets notified. But it's bigger than that, right? So you have your existing clientele and you can manage them so effectively. You don't have to worry about what you've already accrued. So you have your assets, all your clients sitting on Sweat Now, and all you have to do is just keep them informed, because that's all they want. Yeah. You're automatically nurturing your community, and now your focus can be on new clients, right? So it allows you to grow and retain all at the same time. Yeah. And you're not starting from scratch with every class. Every class, you're like, oh my God, who do I do? What do I do? Do I choose to go after new ones with this? Or do I choose to let my existing community? Like you're always fighting for time, for messaging, and always starting from ground zero. Yeah. The app allows you to kind of, I would say, segment, and it almost manages your community by itself. All the automation of the app. Yeah. Just kind of splits it for you. And the app goes, all right, I got this. I got all your community. You go and you tell your existing people to just check your schedule and then decide where they want to go. It's not about every class. It's not about every time. It's not about every day. It's not about every location. It's about one place. All is on Sweat Now. You choose.
So you're talking about you can retain your current audience, you can nurture them by notifying them within seconds, like, oh shit, I'm running late, or I have a sub for this day. Oh, I got a new class coming. But now let's talk about exposure to new people. How does that work?
Right. So this is I love this word, right? And one of my challenges is I don't think people understand how incredible the power of marketplace is. Okay. That seems to not resonate. When I hear a marketplace, I'm like, oh my God, that's it. What you want is a marketplace. So let's think about, best example I can give is, when was the last time you were somewhere in the city and you wanted to go and check out a restaurant, and you went on Google and Googled every restaurant one by one, website by website, versus when an open table and go, I'm right here. What's around me? Show me the menu. Show me the time. Show me the availability. Okay. I'm in, and you just go by pictures, you go by videos, you go by menu, but it's all there.
Yeah.
What about Amazon? What about Etsy? What about eBay? They are so powerful because they have existing users and new users. And what ends up happening for us is, as fitness professionals, we share fitness enthusiasts who are trying to come in and live a healthier life. Between my clients and your clients, they have one thing in common. They are trying to use fitness to improve their lives. And guess what? My people want to take your class, and your people want to take my class, and another instructor wants to take their, and we're retaining them together.
Yeah.
Because sometimes when I can't teach, I can say, but guess what? Go try a Reed's class. And we start cross-pollinating our audiences and attract their friends. And they're pumping them in this one bucket that just brews and brews and brews and brews and feeds all of us and makes it so easy for everybody new to find us. And my particular reasoning behind creating an open marketplace was another extremely common question that maybe two, and I'm sure you encounter this, is what is your class, right? Like, how can people so if I said, oh, go take Sharky, they'd be like, what is that? Okay. And if you said, oh, go take Strong, they'd be like, well, what is that? Right? So our industry is packed with names of classes and formats that are absolutely unrelatable to anyone who hasn't already taken that. So millions of people who have not taken a fitness class or just, want to take a new one have no idea what we teach. Sweat Now's simple filter is built to only display to the enthusiast the languaging that is relatable to them, which means you as a fitness professional define your class with pre-designed words that are then shown to the fitness enthusiast looking for. So let me just, draw you an example. If I were to get on Open Table and I'm only seeing the names of the restaurants, I would have no idea what food they serve. But if you're in a new area, what do? Italian, Mexican, right? And then you go and find the restaurant. Same way, the enthusiasts go, oh, cardio. Oh, strength. Oh, yoga. Oh, dance. Okay, belly dance. Oh, I didn't know Sharky falls under the category of belly dance, but I love belly dance. Let's go.
Well, so Sweat Now has its own algorithm.
Correct, but it's defined by FitPro. So the FitPros basically defined what keywords are defining their class that they teach, right? And is it for beginners?
Mm-hmm.
And so it allows to educate new people, scared people. It gives them insight into, first of all, what is the category of that class? And not only that, but they can take a small peek at the video that the FitPros can upload that will take away the threat of what is this? Because the gyms and the facilities are unrelatable. The studio is just a studio. It could be the most incredible studio. But honestly, if I don't know who is in that studio going to nurture me, it's just the cold space I really don't want to be. And especially if I don't know the community. And so it allows for that connection or relatability, that warmth of that provider to do a sneak preview of what can you expect. Takes away that fear.
So you said a lot of great points. So for the fitness professional, the dance professional, the community person, facility, it's solving a few things. It's solving with their marketing, right? It's solving with retention. What else is it solving? It's solving ease for people to even sign up and for people to find you. And also for the enthusiasts, it's solving just finding the right class for them and near them too.
Correct. So for people searching for new classes, they have an ease of finding classes that are suited for them, right? Or it serves their interest at first, or they're beginners, or they're advanced, right? So it helps them better navigate and match their interest, right? So I'm like, Sweat Now is kind of like, Tinder for fitness, and it's also like Uber for fitness professionals, and it's like Open Table for enthusiasts, and it's like LinkedIn for gym, right? Because they can find us and see the ratings, right? There's ratings on the app. So you can read about that fitness professional, get that referral, that assurance for that Fit Pros community. But what it also does, it creates a tremendous accountability between our existing clients and us.
Mm-hmm.
Because when we get constant little notification, this person joined, tell me, you've been on the app.
Yeah.
When you get that little nudge of someone, you figured it's a new person, for example,
Right.
and you get that, Jamie L joined your class. You're like, who the hell is Jamie?
Right.
I'm upping my game. I'm like, oh shit. Oh my God. Do I have the perfect playlist? I'm excited. There's a new person. I'm going to show off, right? And then at the same time, if I get all my regulars, this person and this person and this person and this person, Tammy's coming, Megan's coming, Andy's coming. I'm like, I can put all their favorite songs. I feel on fire. I feel so prepared and excited. And so I feel I'm up in my game because I'm like, I really know who's coming to class. And then the enthusiasts don't want to cancel.
That's what I love about the app. It's that you can text people like in a few seconds. Like if I have like 6 people come to my classes, I'm like, I just message each one of them, looking forward to seeing you. And they love it. It keeps them accountable.
It does. And you can do that through a class note, right?
Yeah,
use that
right.
automation because they all get it. But you're right. This brings me to that point. A lot of people would be like, oh, Oreed's so exceptional. She texts her client. Unless you really care about your community, honestly, you should just not be in our industry, right? But we all care. Yes, you're exceptional in so many standards, but you are also one of many who care and want to reach. And what do we end up doing? Going on social media, pumping into social media, and I'm not against it. It's just not effective. And I'm not saying I use social media all the time, but I use it so I get people's interest. And then I want them to get on Sweat Now because my offering is not just that one thing that I'm posting. My offering is 6 months deep, unless something happens to me, right? And then my offering changes because there is a last minute sub, there is a last minute pop up, there is an opportunity that opens up.
So this is like a no-brainer for the teacher, for the instructor, for the coach. Especially if you don't have a way to get payments from people. Like it's just so easy. You can get payments from people easily and then some. It's like, why not? So if you're speaking to people, how do you get them off the fence?
That's a really tricky one. And to be honest, that was part of my frustration, right? When I launched the app, it took a year and a half of development. Designing it so that instructors could use it as basically their own community builder and class retention and class build. It's a lead generator that then instructor concierge into their classes. Or, like you said, if I'm in the position where I'm just posting a virtual class or I'm doing my own pop-up or park, which, by the way, this app allows you to do to top up your reoccurring classes. So when you have extra energy, you're like, you know what, let me just throw a pop-up because now my people can find out about it very easily. Then yes, you can charge for it directly through the app and just makes it so easy because then everyone who came to class already paid. Zero worries. There's no Venmo and chasing payments or did you pay? No, because whoever is in the app, they already paid and you get paid through Stripe. So there is an integration through Stripe.
And how many enthusiasts are on the app right now?
It grows honestly every day. I think my newest count would have been almost 6,000.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Hello, instructors. Did you hear that? 6,000. This is a whole nother group of people to target. Why wouldn't you get on Sweat Now? even if you have your own way to collect payments. I mean, I have two ways to collect payments via my website and I'm on Sweat Now. I do both. There's two different worlds that I target. So it would behoove you, everybody.
You can always add, all your portals on the app. There's again, it's instructor driven, use it to complement your class schedule, use it to completely convert your clients and top up with the marketplace we're building.
Yeah.
Because guess what? Getting enthusiasts, honestly, is the easiest. Who doesn't want to know where there's best classes? Directly from the Fit Bros. My challenge is all these 6,000 people want to go to a class. And if I don't have a Fit Bro kind of standing by with their accurate offering, then the enthusiast is going to be like, well, there's nothing close. The next class that I can find is in Philadelphia and I am in Ohio. So that's the beauty and the curse of what it's called that we are basically a triple-sided marketplace, which is the most difficult thing to ever build because it's timing. We need to have, the enthusiast coming onto the platform or the Fit Bros are not interested. Why would I do that, right? Why am I going to convert my community if I don't get anything in return, right? So we do make your community management easier, but if you're kind of happy where you're at, that's a lot of work, right? But then see the upside of this marketplace. And now that we're in this position where it's really starting to grow, it's so exciting to see the cross-pollination of, we got 100 people onto the platform and those 100 people were going somewhere and 30 of them are going to another instructor. That's 30% of cross-pollination.
Right.
And you have to do nothing but have your classes on the app.
Right.
And, you do want to be highly rated. And what helps drive is that your community is on the platform. And,
that's right.
And they're basically recommending you to their friends. But you have to be a visionary. You have to be an innovator like you. You have to want to make things better for yourself, for your community. Mm-hmm. You have to want to give up some of that really hard, this works, this is fine. We're all creatures of habit. And like I said, if I wasn't desperate and on my knees and faced with having to give up what I love the most, right, I built the app, probably not.
Right, gotcha.
That's what it took. So I do see that our biggest adapters are either tremendous innovators. They understand the potential.
Right.
And they take the leap of faith. Yeah. And then they love it. They don't get discouraged by the hard work of changing their people's habits because God bless us all with that. Or it's desperate people. Mm-hmm. Who have just really tried everything and they're like me. They're like, I just can't keep doing this anymore. So
get on the app, pretty much. Get on it.
What's your favorite feature?
My favorite feature is the notifications, being able to notify people personally as well as the note. What else? I think because I'm all about nurturing and I like really surprising people and making them feel good. Like, wow, she is trying to make me accountable. I love that. That's my favorite. So this is where it's going now, Andrea. It's all about apps. I mean, we're moving to the phone only. It's eventually only going to be here on the phone. So get on it, folks. So where can people find you and connect with you and sign on to Sweat Now?
So for fitness professionals, the app has the functionality for Fit Bros on the App Store currently. We have everything in the works, but we sort of had to go one step at a time. So we launched it on the iPhone, and just FYI, we already had over 700 instructors sort of get on the app and wanting to be one of the early adopters. But for fitness enthusiasts, I would say we have also created a web browser version of the app, which means they can go on their phones but they can also go on their computers, and it's a mirror image of the iOS version. This was a big need because we figured we launch it for the iPhone users, and I'm sorry, I'm being selfish, but I have iPhone, so forgive me. And then we figured what's more important is that we don't hold back the scale for the fitness professionals to have all their enthusiasts be able to come to their classes, regardless of them having Androids or iPhones. So the second biggest build was let's put it through the web browser. So if you are just trying to join and book a class, you can do it at the convenience of your iPhone or through the web app, which is app.sweatnow.com. It's kind of the same name, but you have to put the app.
Love it. Awesome. Thank you so much, Andrea. It's always an honor to speak to you. I love, you're just like a plethora of knowledge. And I'm so happy that you are doing this for the teaching industry. Thank you. Thank you for all that you do.
And I want to throw it out there. And hopefully we talk in a year and we have sort of revolutionized things. But I have put tips, instructors getting some gratuity. And hopefully that becomes another amazing opportunity for instructors to stay in our industry because they're feeling the gratuity and it can be on their birthdays, but sometimes, people might feel compelled. You know what? I just love this class. Let me pay another $5, but you have 100 people doing that.
Yeah. Adds up.
And that's my big dream, that the instructors get monetary rewards for all their hard work, and they stay in our industry and they don't burn out because we're so needed.
Damn straight. Would you like to take us out?
Okay. So guys, until next episode, get on the app and kick some ass.
Yeah. I love it.
Thank you so much. Bye, love.
Bye.